Hi guys, today I want to talk about another reason that you might be turning your dates off and they might not want to see you again. This isn't going to be for everybody, but like I said, there's going to be a significant part of the population that this will turn off. And I do notice this more with men than women. I've known more men to be like this than women in my experience. Okay, and that is... Well, there's three parts to this, but the first part is being a fussy eater. Now, nobody wants to go to nice restaurants or whatever, and you can't eat anything off the menu because you don't like this and you don't like that, and you just eat really plain and boring food like a child. Nobody's going to find that attractive. Nobody wants to date children. So you need to expand your palate, and it's extremely doable. Your taste buds refresh every 3 weeks, and they can retain a memory of foods. So what you need to do is eat a little bit of the food you don't like, even if it's like a half an inch squared. It only has to be a small amount. Eat that, a little bit of that every day for at least 3 weeks, because you're not going to be sure what part of the cycle your taste buds are at. But do it for at least 3 weeks, and generally you can end up starting to like the food because your taste buds then retain a memory of that food. And it works because I've tried it myself. I never used to like olives. I trained myself to like olives. I never used to like coffee. I trained myself to like coffee. I never used to like mushy peas on pies, and I trained myself to like them. So it's doable, and there's no excuse, especially once you get into your late 20s to and beyond, to still go to restaurants and not be able to find anything to eat off the menu because you're fussy. Just not on. And it's such a turn off because people, like I said, people don't want to date children. I was out with a friend of mine once and her partner, and we were trying to figure out what to get to share or something like that, and she's like, oh, should we get that? And he's like, shakes his head like a little child and screws his nose up like, oh, I don't like that. And he did this to so many things. And I'm like, oh my God, how can she stand being with him? People want to go out and eat at places where they have more gourmet foods, or different foods from overseas, and try new things. And if you can never go to them, or you'll sit there whinging about the menu all night because there's nothing off it you can eat, it's going to be a huge turn off. And in a very similar vein to that, saying that you hate vegetables and you don't eat vegetables. Okay, come on guys, you're not 3 years old. You should not be reaching adulthood and refusing to eat vegetables. That is so immature and so bad for you. Nobody's going to want to be with somebody so immature and who's probably going to end up with health problems in the not too distant future because they're not eating anything healthy. Such a turn off. So again, train yourself to like them, and just grow up and eat them because they're extremely good for you. It's like the best food on the planet, vegetables, right? So if you're saying I hate vegetables or I don't eat vegetables, be prepared to have a lot of people not want to date you. And the final part of this video is treating your body badly in general. Refusing to eat vegetables, never eating a piece of fruit, you drink and or smoke, you eat junk food like it's going out of fashion, you really just don't have any thought about what you put into your body. You live on processed food, you don't care about anything like, say she's aware of genetically modified foods, or she likes organic food because of the here in Australia, I believe we have pesticides on our strawberries that's been banned in like 100 other countries. So, it's often good to be aware of these things. You don't have to lecture anyone or go on about it or whatever. But if you've got zero care about anything to do with what you put in your body, now I'm not saying you have to be a health nut or a health freak and be living on shakes and supplements and all the rest of it. You just have to have, your standard eating should be somewhat healthy. And I don't mean you have to not ever have desserts or, all the rest of it, but if that's all you do is eat rubbish and crap and processed food, and you don't like vegetables, and you have to be forced to eat a piece of fruit and all the rest of it, it's going to be like dealing with a child, and nobody's going to want to do that. Nobody wants to be put in a parent-child relationship. It is such a turn-off. It's not attractive if a grown adult's acting like a child. So if you drink to excess or anything like that, tone it down. Someone wants to be with someone that they know is not going to die in 10 years because they've got such poor health. They're not going to end up with cirrhosis of the liver. They're not going to have a heart attack. They're not going to get bowel cancer or something, diabetes, whatever. So at least have a minimum of healthy eating. Like I said, you don't have to be a health nut. Just have healthy foods in your diet as well. And don't go crazy with the bad stuff. It's not attractive. Now, there's going to be times in your life when you're going to eat worse than others. And I know I'm in a bad time at the moment since I met my latest partner. He had quite a shocking diet, and it's sort of rubbed off on me a little bit. And I used to be actually quite healthy. And I was dating a guy back when I was really quite healthy who would eat a lot of sugar. And at that time when I was quite healthy and not eating sugar, I did actually, it was one of the nails in the coffin. It did actually turn me off. It wouldn't have been the only thing I would have gotten rid of him for. But like I say, everything adds up, and they're all nails in the coffin. So I don't mean you have to sit there being, feel like, oh my God, I better not eat this in front of her or whatever. But just generally have healthy stuff in your diet, and show that you do have healthy stuff in your diet, and that you do have some care for your body. So no extremes either way. No extreme gym junkie, supplement taking, living on shakes, sort of diet Nazi that goes on about it to her all the time. But by the same token, don't go to the opposite extreme and just have absolutely nothing but crap and treat your body terribly. Find a happy medium. All right, guys, nice short one. If that's something you're doing that might be turning your dates off and you didn't realise it before, I hope I've woken you up to something, and maybe you can put some positive change in your life. But for now, from Aussie land, farewell.